Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very exciting video for you. Today we're going to do a get ready with me Valentine's Day look full of drugstore priced products. So basically everything in this video total is under $60 and that's like full size products. So I am so excited to bring this to you, and it's very unusual because those of you who have been with me for the life of this channel know that I am a high-end makeup type of girl. So the drugstore stuff isn't something that usually appeals to me, but over the course of the last few weeks there's been so much good stuff that I've come across that I've really been using it on a very consistent basis. So if you're interested in getting ready with me using all drugstore products, everything total under $60 full face, then let's go ahead and get started getting ready for Valentine's Day. Okay, so this isn't like a first impressions or anything because I really have been using these products pretty consistently at this point. So my impressions have already been formulated. So we're just really gonna get ready together and just kind of chit chat, I guess. So I am gonna go in first with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, the Dewy version. This was $4.95 at my local grocery store, and I've been using this pretty consistently. Like, I have been using this more than my high-end foundations. So it's kind of surprising that it's that inexpensive, but I don't know, Wet n Wild has really been surprising here lately, especially for a couple other products that you're gonna see down later in this video. So just going to place this all over. I like the spatula. I think a lot of people don't, just because of, I guess, hygiene purposes. I wash my face right before doing my makeup, and I guess a lot of people could say that doesn't matter because you're still getting your, like, the oils and stuff, but anyways, I find it easier to use, and I like that I don't have to get my hands dirty by dotting it all over my face. I'm going to go in with a Sonia Kashuk brush. I find that I like using this foundation more with a brush than a sponge, because with a sponge I end up having to layer it like 2 or 3 times, which has never happened with a foundation before. It also does have a very strong scent, and I had heard that that's what people weren't liking about it. I don't think it's bad enough for me to, like, for it to be a deal breaker for me, especially at a $5 price tag. And it's kind of nice that this brand is vegan and cruelty free. So it's not like I'm smelling stuff that is, you know, gross or anything. But this does layer on so nicely with a brush that it's very, very impressive, considering the fact that this is $5 and sometimes you pay $55 for a high-end foundation. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to concealer. I just realized I probably should have done my brows first, considering the product I'm going to be using, but whatever. This is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. It's the hydrating version, or the satin finish. It's the hydrating version. What's it called exactly? I don't remember, but anyways, it's in the shade Light Sand. I forgot to tell you that the foundation is in the shade Buff Bisque, and one thing I love about this is that they have the undertone on the top of the cap, which takes the guesswork out of it, because that's one of my biggest complaints about drugstore makeup, is that you don't know which shade is right for you. And then you take it home and you're like, this shade isn't right for me. You take it back, return it for another, it's still not right. And at that point you've gone through 3 or 4. And it's also not fair to the companies that sell those drugstore products, because then you're returning a ton of stuff. But anyways, going in with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Again, this is the hydrating version in the shade Light Sand. This is $6. And you can, again, just pretty much everything here. I'll point out where I purchased mine, but you can pick it up at any drugstore, grocery store, that kind of thing. So I'm going to take it onto my eyelid because it is what I'm going to use to also prime my lid, because I haven't found that perfect drugstore eye primer as of yet. And so we'll use concealer for today and keep our cost down. So let's go ahead and put this on now. I don't have a powder. I have not yet purchased a drugstore powder, and I've heard that the Maybelline Fit Me is really great. I have not yet taken the plunge and purchased that, so I'm not going to use any powder today. Now, you already may have a drugstore powder or even high-end that you really like. For purposes of this video, because it is all drugstore products, I won't use any. But that just takes me back to the day when I didn't used to use powder at all. I actually like the look. I don't have issues with makeup moving around or anything like that, but I have just gotten to where I really like using powder these days, and that's all because of the Huda Easy Bake. But that's what we've got going on. The finish to this foundation is beautiful because it is very dewy. I have seen reviews of people saying it's not dewy, that it's just very much like the original. But the performance isn't as good. I find that it's very dewy, and I like that. So if you have dry skin, that foundation may be your very best friend. All right, y'all. So I may end up needing to do my brows off camera. I don't know. I'm not good at doing them on camera because I have to get real up close and personal with the camera or with the mirror, and this product is no exception. The thing about this product is it's very, very like basically your brows are locked and loaded after using this. This is the e.l.f. Lock On Liner and Brow Cream in the shade Espresso. It's just like a little pomade, but it's creamy. It's more liquidy than a pomade, if that makes any sense. So a little bit goes a very, very long way. This was $3.25, and you can find it at like Walmart or your grocery store, anywhere that sells e.l.f. products. So I'm just using a brush with a spoolie. I've already brushed my brows up, and I'm just gonna grab some, and I do think I'm gonna do my brows off camera just because, again, I'm gonna get up close and personal, but you know which brow product I'm using, so I'll be right back. Okay, so brows are on. Now we're gonna go ahead and go into eyeshadow. So we've already primed the eyes with the concealer, and I'm gonna go in with the Profusion Lovestruck eyeshadow palette. Now, the crazy thing about this is, I don't even know if you're getting a good view. Let me open it up. It's not available on Walmart's website, but it is in store. So I don't know if it's one of those things where like they're bringing it out just kind of, you know, not a pre-sale, but kind of before it actually launches on the website. But this is a beautiful Valentine's Day palette. It has a ton of like lilac and purpley shades. It's got some pink. It's got some really pretty glitters. And I'm super excited to use this for Valentine's Day, especially at such a good price. It was $12.97, and it's got like just the loose packed glitters that you would typically find these days in an eyeshadow palette. It's got a couple of neon shades, and that's really what spoke to me the most. Just pink and like a neon kind of coral, just really, really pretty. So I have been using this palette pretty much non-stop and have been enjoying it very, very much. Now, the neon shades, they do kind of stain the eyelid, but that's okay with me. I don't really have an issue with that. So I'm just really gonna go ahead and just kind of start putting this on the eyes while we chit-chat a little bit. So what are your Valentine's Day plans, or do you have like any traditions or anything that you typically do with your boyfriend or your husband, or do you go out to eat? Do you go to the movies? Do you stay home? And I feel like typically now a lot of people like to stay home just because the crowds get so intense. Okay, so let's first start off with this pink shade right here. I'm just gonna place this on the inner portion of my crease. So we do that, like we will wait a few days before going anywhere just because the crowds get so intense. Let me zoom you on in a little bit because it might be harder to see. There we go. The crowds get really, really bad. So you just kind of, you know, it's nice to enjoy it at a time when it's a little bit less crowded. So we typically wait until, like I said, until it's less crowded. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the deepest purple shade and just kind of place this on the outer portion of my lid and the crease. So I love Valentine's Day, and I really love to treat and kind of spoil myself for Valentine's Day. I've always been that way, and I don't know if it's because I love the pink and red themed just merchandise that comes out, not just makeup, but like stuffed animals and candy and stuff like that. So I typically take the day and just kind of enjoy, make the best of it. I don't really think you have to have somebody to like spend the day with. I feel like that almost kind of sets you up for failure by just setting your expectations that the day is only meant for that. I think you can kind of take the day and just, you know, spoil yourself, take a nice relaxing bath with a bath bomb, watch some girly movies, make yourself some popcorn, buy some chocolates, buy yourself the box of chocolates. I do that every year. I buy myself some Valentine candy and I just make a day of watching romantic movies and just enjoying, because I think that's just really what it's about. It's really not, I do know that it is very marketed, and you know, that's what at this point we all believe, is that you have to have somebody in order to really enjoy the Valentine's Day, but that's not necessarily the case. I think I'm gonna end up using the glitter today. Let's see, so let's continue on with that deep purple, and I'm gonna take it in right here. Just kind of it's not gonna be a halo eye, but I'm just gonna take it in so that I create kind of an outline for that glitter to really pop. Okay, so I'm gonna take just like there's a satiny type of pink in the palette, and I'm just taking it on my finger and I'm placing it in the middle, and this is where I'm gonna put the glitter, but I don't want just the glitter. I want something underneath, just so I don't have any bald spots on my eye. I think the glitter is pretty opaque, but I always like to put something underneath so that there's also something to kind of show through if I do end up with those bald spots. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with some Anastasia glitter before going in with, or glitter glue before going in with the glitter. So anyways, so yeah, I just kind of have just made it a point to really enjoy the day myself, you know, and at the end of the day, we're all human, so we do have those feelings sometimes of, you know, it can be like loneliness or just really longing, and I think all of us are pretty much guilty of just not enjoying the journey and just waiting to be happy once we reach our destination. But truly, you have to enjoy the journey. And part of enjoying the journey is, regardless of where you are at in life or a relationship, just take these types of days to just spoil yourself, enjoy the theme, the pink, the red, and it doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. I'm just talking in general, but it's Valentine's Day is coming up, and that's what we're getting ready for. So just kind of wanted to give you that little bit of encouragement, because I think as girls, we've all been there at some point in time, and sometimes you get to a point where you're like, okay, looking back, you know, I can speak to others about what I went through, just so that, you know, so that we can speak that encouragement to people who may be going through those same things. Is this glitter not everything you would want in a Valentine's Day look? This is so incredible. I am mind blown every single time I use this palette that it was only I think it was like $12.97. But it performs as well as a high-end palette, which is not surprising of Profusion, but this is incredible. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit more of that purple just to kind of blend in with the glitter, but this glitter is amazing. It's like a baby pink. I don't own any kind of glitter shade like this, so it was really nice to be able to now have something like it in my collection. Okay, let's go ahead and do an inner corner. And I'm not always reliable about doing this, but it does add so much, and it looks so, so nice. And the nice thing about this palette I'm finding is that, like, there's a ton that you can do for a daytime look. Like if you're gonna go to work, if you're gonna be at work for Valentine's, there's a ton that you can do for a daytime look, but then there's a lot that can take it to nighttime for if you have a date, even if you have like an outing with your friends, with your girlfriends, that you're just gonna go out and have a good time. Like, there's so much that you can do with this palette. Okay, I think I'm gonna do some pink on the lower lash line just to make it, if I do purple, do I wanna do purple? I don't know. I might end up going in with some purple. Okay, that does it for the eyes. Is that not the prettiest Valentine's look you have seen? Well, that's saying I'm trying to be vain there because you may have seen better. But super easy, very pigmented, easy to use. I'm gonna go in off camera and I'm going to put on some liner. This is the Maybelline Hyper Easy Liner. I've spoken this before on my channel. I love it. And it's from Walmart for like $6.97. And then the mascara that I have been using is the Maybelline Great Lash. Lots of lashes. And then just so that you know what lashes I will be putting on, these are the Ardell Naked Lashes in the style 421. I have been loving these. They don't look like they would be super dramatic, but they add just enough to really give you that volume and without looking, I mean, let's face it, whenever we wear lashes, they pretty much look artificial, and these look very, very natural to where someone would be like, do you have lash extensions? So these were $3.98, but I had a coupon and they were $2.98. So that's what I will be using for lashes today. Okay guys, so the eyes are finished and I'm not gonna lie, I have been sitting here putting on bronzer and carrying on a conversation with the camera when the camera wasn't even recording. There is nothing more annoying than that. Okay, there's some things more annoying than that, but that's pretty high on the list. So let me try and rewind in my mind. Let me tell you what bronzer I used. It's the Wet n Wild bronzer in the shade Sunset Striptease. It was, I think, like $3.99. It is the most neutral of the lineup. It's like not in any way, shape, or form orangey or red. I like neutral tones. I don't like any kind of orangey type of tone. So really just went in with a brush, and I'm gonna add a little bit more anyways, just so that you can see how it goes on. But it goes on so nicely, and quite frankly, the way it layers with this foundation is so incredible. I don't think I've been this excited about a like foundation skin combination type thing in a long time to include high end. So the fact that I am this impressed really says a lot. So what I was saying to the camera that was so conveniently turned off or not recording was I was asking if any of y'all have been keeping up with the season of The Bachelor, because I typically don't watch that TV show, and for whatever reason this season I've been super sucked in, and I've kind of got like my favorites. I kind of flip-flop between Vanessa and Hannah Ann, which I wasn't a fan of Hannah Ann when the season first started, but I feel like over time that I've seen her stay out of all the drama that I've really become a fan. So if you are a fan of this series in general, or if you're watching this season, comment below what your thoughts are and who you think is gonna win. I tried Googling some spoilers. I am that person that will go to the back of a book and read the end before I kind of go through the entirety. And so I'm like that with movies and TV shows too. So let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on the season and yeah, and what you think. Okay, so this next to last product is not only my favorite product of this whole lineup that we've been using, but my favorite product really as far as high-end or drugstore over the last few months. It's blown my socks off that this is only like $6.25. It's the Wet n Wild Hello Halo Blush and Highlighter, or technically it's called a Blushlighter because it's got a very strong sheen. So some people may not use it as a blush. I do because I like a very strong sheen type of blush. This is the lightest one. It's called Highlight Bling. I also bought the middle one, the gold one, and it is also beautiful. I think this one's a little bit more intense as far as the highlight, but it's also the lightest, so it may look a little ashy on some skin tones. So I am going to go in, obviously, with the blush side and a blush brush. I also find this to be the blush that kind of stands out the best of the two on me. The other one's a little bit more subdued. It's a little more peachy. And this one just is a little more pinky. Now, again, it has a very, very strong shift. I like a very dewy look, so the fact that I'm combining this foundation with this product is giving a very strong glow. So if that's not your thing, then you probably don't want to combine. But if you do like a good glow, this is right up your alley. So that is the blush. It's very, very pretty. It makes your skin look so healthy. Now we're gonna go in with the highlight, and this is an Anastasia A23. I get that my brush isn't drugstore, but let's put this bad boy on. Oh my gosh, do you see how amazing that is? I have not found, truly, I have not found a high-end highlighter that has been this intense in a very, very long time. So, like, this is to the point where I feel like I never buy backups of anything, but to the point where I feel like I want to buy a backup of this product because it's so, so nice. That kind of glow is the kind of glow you want for Valentine's Day. Trust me. Well, it's the kind of glow I want for Valentine's Day because I like to be seen, you know, 100 miles away when it comes to my glow. It's like my face looks like a glazed donut and I love it. So I'm going to do the whole nose thing, which even if, you know, it's not a thing anymore, I will still do it because I love it. Just going to put some down there and some up here. This looks amazing. I'm not even kidding with you. That's like ridiculous. Look, even the light went kind of wonky just then because it couldn't handle the fact that this is so intense. Anyways, so let's move on. Let me zoom you out just a little bit and we'll go in with lipstick. So surprise, surprise, I'm using Wet n Wild. They've come out with these new ones and I'm actually really surprised that they've gotten away with putting these little lips on there because that totally reeks Pat McGrath and I don't know. We'll see if these lipsticks are available for a long period of time because truly that's the first thing I thought of when I saw these on the rack. But these are the matte. They have a white bullet that's the like cream version. I have one. I love the shade. I don't love the formula because it just kind of slides all around my lips. This is a very comfortable matte and it's very, very pigmented. Stays on for a good amount of time too. Okay guys, this is the finished look for Valentine's Day. Could you really want anything more in a set of drugstore products? I really don't think so. So this, I was absolutely floored with how much I have been enjoying it. Like I said, use it with a brush if you want better coverage. With a sponge, it just shears it out way, way too much. The blush and highlight, the bronzer, such great products for the price. If you are looking to find this palette, go to your local Walmart. Like I said, don't look online because it's not available online. It's only available on the Profusion website, but you can find it hopefully still in your Walmart store. These lipsticks, incredible. They have like a good amount, like a good 15 shades. I have 3 or 4 and I love them. Obviously, can't go wrong with e.l.f. brow products. I've talked about e.l.f. brow products in prior videos. Just so, so much. These lashes are incredible. So yeah, just, I mean, final rundown. I've kind of given you the breakdown of each price point, but overall, right under $60, and I have a ton of makeup that's going to last me for a very long time. $60 at Sephora will get you one eyeshadow palette. So again, for someone like me who's not a fan of drugstore, to be this over the moon for drugstore and to be using these as consistently as I have been really says a lot. So I hope you enjoyed this Valentine's Day Get Ready With Me. All right, my friends, before I let you go, I want to give you a very quick verse of the day in with the Valentine's Day and love spirit. And today's comes from 1 John 4:7, and it says, "Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God." All right, my friends, thank you so much for sticking out this video with me, for getting ready with me, and I hope one of these products kind of spoke to you or maybe even inspired you to pull out some of your makeup products for this upcoming Valentine's Day. All right, see you guys very soon, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.